Hola, it's Wednesday. Thank you very much for joining us here at Wednesday Sports Podcast. Like and subscribe to all of our social media content. So all of you check us out here, all of our social media platforms. I got my Orioles hat on here because we're getting in spring training. Talk about the O's tonight. It's like a spring training report. Good stuff going on in Sarasota. New facility. Heston Kjerstad hit a home run. Vance Honeycutt, some of the young guys. So that was very cool. So we'll definitely get to that tonight as well. As we always do at the beginning here in the podcast, we talk our business side of it as well. So definitely MLB preseason predictions video March 22nd. That is the week before the MLB starts on the Sunday night before. We're going to go ahead and chop it up. Who's going to win the division? East, West, Central, MVP, all that stuff, preseason predictions. We'll definitely have that for you. Our flagship rivalrysports.company.site. So definitely check that out as well. We definitely revamped it. We went over it. It's wonderful. It's got brand new stuff. We are keeping an eye on the possible Ravens jersey change. All right. So we will keep an eye on that. So we'll be happy to go ahead and do that for you as well. Also, to links on Fanatics Sports Memorabilia Shop. Definitely. So keep an eye on those links. You'll see them everywhere. Definitely on our LinkedIn page, on our X page. So definitely check that out. Genesis Notary Services /Facebook.com as well. So definitely check that out. If you are in the Shenandoah Valley area and you do need notary services, if you know, we definitely can help you there. See Charles Harris. We are LegalShield.com. Definitely too. I can't emphasize enough one more time how much value you can get getting your legal needs satisfied with Legal Shield. Great resource for me and my business and my family. I've called them many times to get help. If you are definitely looking for a will, help with collecting money with your business, helping with any type of situation, definitely call Legal Shield and get that squared away. It's a great resource for you as well. All right. Let's get down to business and release the hunt. For those of you dads out there that watch Milan, you know what that song is. All right. And today we're going to start our 2026 first Ravens mock draft. So definitely check it out here. So we're going to do our mock draft next week. Big board. We're going to go ahead and get that squared away as well. So we're going to talk with our first Ravens mock draft. A little bit before the mock draft, go ahead and talk about what's going on right now as it relates to the draft. The NFL Combine is going on right now. We did hear today from Jesse Minter talking to the media at the Combine, watching the players as well. Also heard, more importantly, I think, during the Combine from Eric DeCosta, Todd Linderbaum did receive an offer from the Ravens. No surprise as well. The Ravens kind of roll like this as far as making an offer. They don't make 2, 3, 4, 5. They kind of just make one, right? Here's your offer. Here it is. Get back to us, etc. So Linderbaum's been playing hardball with him. That's still not done. Nobody asked the $1 million question. Are you going to franchise him if he doesn't sign? So interesting to hear that if it does. Some teams have already announced that the Ravens aren't going to do that. By history, Eric DeCosta likes to wait and do that to the last minute and say, okay, then now we'll wait to the last day before he has to do it. Then go ahead and mention that. So interesting as well. Also was interesting. He did expect Marlon Humphrey to be back on the team next year. So that's fascinating, I think, because there was some question whether he was going to release, have to have a pay cut or whatever. So again, very positive about Marlon. That could have been a bigger need than what people suspected if you let Marlon go. I think that's also part of it. So if you bring back Marlon there as well, along with Nate Wiggins, at least you have 2 starters there. So I think those were the 2 big takeaways that I got from it. Not big on the Combine. I think guys are going to run. You're going to see who's the fastest guy, who does the most reps, etc. How they look at shorts, etc. Some guys are going to jump up their draft stock or whatever. Maybe wide receivers, running backs, something like that. But definitely, Combine is going on right now, and looking at the Combine right now because we're going to have the draft All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the NFL draft here. First round, we're just going to call him Vega Aloni. We talked about it last week in the uh, NFL mock draft with the whole league. This week we're just doing Ravens. This is prime need for the Ravens. They have to go ahead and fill one of their guard needs. There has been talk about Emory Jones filling in on the other side, on one side as well. Daniel Falele is a free agent. No talk, thank goodness, of bringing him back as well at right guard. So you're definitely looking at least at a right guard for sure. So even if you are looking to go ahead, the Ravens will take a defensive tackle. No, we don't. The defensive tackle thing, Kenny, um, is Matabuke healthy enough? And by what we're getting lately, we're assuming that Matabuke will be there. They tried to get him O-line last year, but Omarari, but they did not listen. Eric DaCosta likes his safeties there. So we know that. Aloni, I think, will fill in. Steve Avila from the Rams, I think, is a good comp for him. This guy's very active. So if you want to guard, though, I would say you're not going to have 4 or 5. This will be your shot. Certainly with the Ravens, we're picking as well. I got you. I know who you were talking about. So that's with the shot here. I think the Ravens definitely are going to look at that in the first round. Derek Moore. Here's a guy, if you see him like a few months ago, maybe third round, later than that as well. Now you got a guy, Derek Moore, definitely played with Jesse Minter when Jesse Minter was a defensive coordinator at the University of Michigan. So this is a guy he knows very well, had a very good senior year as well, and also too had a very good Senior Bowl week. So that matters. So possibly I've seen on some boards that's third round. I do think the Ravens would take him here. Edge, I think, is the other need. I think they have to. They have to. Let's see. I watch you and another Ravens guy, but you guys never agree. That's all right. He can be wrong, whoever it is. All right. Derek Moore as well. Rashawn Gary is kind of what I see with him. He's never going to be this like Max Crosby type or whatever, but he's going to knock you over with power, get you 8, 9, 10 sacks, etc. As well during the season. Maybe not 14, 15, but definitely this is a good value pick here in the second round, and this is a absolute prime need for the Ravens as well. Moore and Green on the outside is nice. I absolutely agree with that. Getting Moore, and Mike Green, I think is a good start point for next year. Max Clare from Ohio State. Thank you, sir. Max Clare from Ohio State. This is when I see him, I easily see a Dennis Pitta when I saw him play football. He's not going to be this guy that's going to that's going to stretch the field, whatever. He's going to beat guys in the short area, catch the ball in the short area, and make those 50-50 balls. He's going to take it away from linebackers, safeties, inside. He's a typical, not a lot of yak, but I do like what I also meant Dennis Pitta. Dennis Pitta was a type of catch and drop guy, right? He's going to catch it, plan his space, and get the yardage right there. So he's not going to get a lot of yak. I think for a third round pick, they're definitely going to need tight end in this draft because you're probably losing Isaiah Likely. You could also be losing Charlie Kolar as well. So it'll be interesting to see what they do there. I think Claire would be an outstanding pick in the third round for the Ravens as well. Fourth round. Now, again, the comp picks haven't been completely announced yet. So just keep that in mind with this. But Chandler Rivers is clearly, to me in this draft, one of the best slot corners in that. So we just talked about bringing back Marlon Humphrey for the next season. Awuzie, a free agent as well. So you're going to need some help there. We'll see TJ Tampa is going to have a bigger role, possibly. Kobe Bryant, I think of the Seahawks, a smallish guy who can fight in the short area as well. I don't know if you're ever going to put this guy on the outside, but clearly you could put this guy in the slot. I think it's a great late pick for you. Somebody who can come in, not going to play every down, but he has great speed there as well. Claire is my second tight end right now. Maybe not in April, but for now. Claire, I think it's fun to watch. If you watched him, Kenny, and you watch Max Claire, fun to watch. Great in the short area. Great physical tight end, but he's still a receiver as well. Next, Pat Coogan from Indiana, from the national champion Hoosiers as well. So here's a guy who played at Notre Dame. Who in their right mind, right? He would have said a few years ago, why would a guy go from Notre Dame to Indiana? Well, he did, and he was definitely a contributor, one of the best centers in the draft as well. So issue with Linderbaum, maybe. Hopefully the Ravens can sign him. If not, you're going to have to take a guy. Probably you're going to have to take a guy mid-round because it's not really a guy early at center. And this is a guy I think is as good a chance as anybody as well. That run game of Indiana last year was outstanding, I thought. See, like you said what I say. Coogan, I think, is a day one starter. I'm actually a little surprised. He is not as thought about as well in it as far as the draft goes. I see him late rounds. Centers tend to go a little bit later, so I do that. Are we keeping Linderbaum? I don't know. I'm not sure. I think it's Linderbaum is playing hardball with the Ravens, and I do believe that it's possible he could leave because the Ravens want to lowball him. That's not going to work. He's got every team in the league wanting to sign him. So that is going to work. So this is a guy that can definitely praise you. Ted Karras is a guy. Alex Karras is Webster's dad. Ted Karras is a guy, good career as well, good solid center. I think a guy could play here as well. Max Brazen, fullback, tight end, Michigan as well. Kind of the guy I'm thinking of is Nick Boyle. So another free agent, interesting name we're going to know about soon is Pat Ricard. So is he a guy that can go ahead and they're going to bring him back? Are they keeping a fullback? So here's a guy who's a hybrid. So played his first couple years at Michigan as well as a fullback. This past season, a little bit more as tight end. So you see 44. So you have that athleticism. This is a blocker, right? This is a blocker. He's going to catch the ball some, but I think he's a blocker. I think Nick Boyle, former Ravens tight end, I think is kind of what I see with him. He's a guy who's you could say this guy's one of the better blocking tight ends in the NFL, one of the better blocking fullbacks, and definitely you could put him at fullback, obviously, with that versatility. So here in the late rounds, you're going to need at least two here for sure as well, because you could be losing two guys. So Ravens have a history of doing this, taking Charlie Kolar and Isaiah Likely in the same draft, Mark Andrews and Hayden Hurst, Ed Dixon and Dennis Pitta. You're losing some guys. Now you're replenishing them with late round draft picks. So I think that's very possible here. Caden Curry of Ohio State. Set the edge guy. So this is a guy here that's definitely a guy that's definitely you look for a guy. Rob Ninkovich, I think, of the New England Patriots is kind of like that. You're going to get some pass rush as well, but they really seem to like guys that set the edge, not a guy with that explosive motor. Got some motor, got a good motor as well, but he's an edge guy, but he's all over the field. He's definitely going to play linebacker. He's definitely doing that. Curry's flying up boards. I believe it. But here in the fifth round, I think this is a good pick for the Ravens. Ninkovich, I definitely think is a good comp for him. You look at a guy like Ninkovich, who had a long career, not a high pick, whatever, played on a good team. I think that's a good comp here as well. Adam Randall from the Clemson Tigers, fifth round from the Clemson from Dabo, Clemson Tigers. LeGarrette Blount is this. This is a guy, pound you up the middle, pound you up the middle, pound you up the middle, pound you up the middle as well. Don't know about Justice Hill coming back as well. Rasheen Ali played a little bit last year. I definitely think to take a guy like this in the late rounds, I think is worth it. Look, they carried 4 running backs last season. I don't know if they're going to carry 4. Are you going to keep a Justice Hill? Derrick Henry getting older. I think this is definitely a guy. Garrett Brown, good straight ahead runner in between the tackles. I definitely think good late round choice here as well. Caleb Proctor from Southeast Louisiana, small school. Brandon Meanbane is the comp as well. When you watch a guy like this, and I was watching Caleb Proctor, when you watch a guy, a small school guy, I want to say this guy is dominant. He's the best player on the field if he's going to play in the NFL. You watch Caleb Proctor at Southeast Louisiana. This guy was dominant. He's the best player on the field. He was just blowing up everything in Southeast Louisiana. Needs to put on some pounds. I think he looks a little small. So for right away, kind of similar to Aeneas Peoples last year. So hopefully he can get some time. You're going to have to. We're still waiting on Matabuke. It's possible you're going to get Matabuke back at some point this year, or you may have him at the start. Will give you some insurance. I give you some depth piece. I think it's needed. I think they're going to be looking for one. I think defensive end, defensive tackle in their 3-4 as well. Brent Urban may retire. Tavian Bryant may have to retire. You're going to need a guy late round. I think this is a good choice. And why not? Almost as good as the Army, but a Navy guy, Heidenreich, Eli Heidenreich from the midshipmen as well. Kyle Juszczyk, I think that's the high-end version of this guy. So you talk about Brayson, you take him earlier in the draft, he could play tight end. This is versatility. I think this guy could play 10 years in the NFL in special teams, right? He could definitely easily be a fullback, definitely a hybrid guy at Navy. He played wide receiver. He played running back. They run with 3 tight end. So this is a guy definitely if you're looking for a guy to help you out on special teams, and I'm sure they are going to look for a guy to help them out on special teams as well. Absolutely, he can start at fullback. Kyle Juszczyk for the 49ers, I think, is the best comp for him as well. That's last year. That's wrong. All right, so Vega Alone, Derek Moore, Max Clare, Chandler Rivers, Pat Coogan, I think like that. Definitely have on the offensive side. Definitely they have some holes there as well. You need the pass rush. You address that as well. Brazen, I think, as well. Tight end, fullback tight end from Michigan. Curry, I think Kenny was saying it. He's going up draft boards. I think late round linebacker as well. Randall, I think, is a good late round pick there. Proctor, good small spook at Heidenreich from the Navy. There you go. There's your draft. All right. So we are going to get more soon, some official picks from the draft as far as that goes. So once they actually release the comp picks, I don't think they're going to release it any day now, I'm thinking, because it's usually right around the combine, a little bit after the combine, when they actually release the official comp picks. If they have, put them down in the comments, whatever. So definitely check that out there as well. All right. More NFL here. And so let's talk about this. So free agency is going to start as well. We talked about what the Ravens are. There are certain teams, we know what the quarterbacks are. I do think, hold on, that was last week.
I didn't even see him as he really was.
2026, obviously. But the tiers. So these are the list of the quarterbacks. This is the hierarchy, right? So teams right now are in decision mode, right? They're right now in Indianapolis at the combine looking at players to go ahead and help them for the next season. And we want to know, and how good are the quarterbacks that they have? Who's looking for quarterbacks? Where are we ranking them right now as far as the league hierarchy? Who's better or worse than you think? All right. So these things make decisions for teams and where the quarterbacks are right now. All right. So let's look at the tiers. This is the untouchable. Okay. So these guys, no debate in any of these, right? These guys, like if somebody was to call, I'm hanging up the phone. Right? I want one of these guys. There's no discussion as well. Josh Allen. This is not in order, by the way. Not in order. We'll get to that later in the offseason. But Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts, Drake May, Matt Stafford. There's no discussion right here. I think these are the elite 7 in the league right now. Certainly, you look at what Stafford has done winning the MVP last year, May nearly winning the MVP. I think this is the elite list as well. Jalen Hurts, probably somebody out there might argue about Jalen Hurts, but he's got a Super Bowl. A lot of these guys on this list have won a Super Bowl, or at least taking a team to the worst. I think is like a team. Every guy on this list is taking his team at least the championship round, no question about it, or MVP, or certainly in the running No question about it on this list. There's no debate, discussion there, or whatever. These are the good quarterbacks right now. Really good. Okay. So I don't think they're completely untouchable in all cases. I think most likely teams are pretty much happy with these guys, although they're not super studs. Baker Mayfield, Brock Purdy, Sam Darnold, Jordan Love, Jaden Daniels, CJ Stroud as well. Mayfield, I think, was not as good last year. Purdy, I think, was battling injuries. Darnold, some would argue, is on the other list now. I don't have him there quite yet, as great as he was last year as well. We'll see. He's getting closer. He's more trending towards the untouchable category, but I have him in the good category. Jordan Love, good last year, up and down. Jaden Daniels, again, with the injuries as well. Stroud, I'm going to leave him there. I do think he's a little shakier, more trending the other way, but he's going to start for sure. I don't think the Texans are interested in trading him. He's not good on the road. He's not good enough. He's not good on the road at all. Justin Herbert, Bo Nix, Dak Prescott, Jared Goff, Caleb Williams, Trevor Lawrence, Dak Prescott. I think I said Dak Prescott. Herbert's not an elite quarterback. I mean, I can't put him there. Some people have him there. I don't have him there anymore. He can't go out in the first round every year, and it doesn't work for me. Good in the regular season, good against bad teams, good against good teams too sometimes, but he's not a superstar. I'd take any of the one in the untouchables over him. Bo Nix, will see about his injury. I think otherwise he was very good all season in the fourth quarter. Definitely room to grow in the second half. Prescott's still very solid. I think the Cowboys are lucky to have him. Jared Goff, not as good as he was the year before. Caleb Williams developing right before us. Definitely could be going in the elite category. Got some things to clean up as well. Trevor Lawrence, I think, resurrected himself last year. Jags were really good as well. Developing. So this group, these guys are, we don't know, right? I wouldn't put them all in some cases. Some are trending bad, some are trending good, but not sure where these guys are. So we're still waiting. Jury's still out. I mean, I think that's one way to put it like that. And these are young guys in all cases. Bryce Young, I think he's the oldest one, at least in terms of experience in the league. I think he's the oldest. 4-year. I'm still having him in developing. I think he's good at times, and he's not good at other times. This streamer wants to stream. This streamer said he wants to stream with Tom Cats. That's fine. rivalrysports@gmail.com. Anybody wants to go ahead and discuss that. Definitely still doing interviews on the channel. All right. So as well, Bryce Young, back to Bryce Young, I think 4 years and we still don't know. He looks good some weeks. He's not good some weeks. Carolina was better this year. So you got to give him that. So I don't think they're completely giving him up. They got their 5th-year option. We still don't know. I think there is still some chance he gets better, but we're still kind of waiting. Michael Penix kind of get an incomplete, had an injury last year, kind of had 2 years where he didn't play. Cousins is gone, so we're going to find out. J.J. McCarthy that ain't going to work. I don't think so. I think jury's still out. I never did think he was that good of a quarterback at Michigan. I think he was a bit overdrafted. He has some physical tools. I do say that, and good team around him, but still waiting as well. Jackson Dart, John Harbaugh, I think that's one of the reasons why he took the job, because he likes Jackson Dart, and I don't blame him. I think Dart, as long as he can stay healthy. That's a thing, though. He's had like 4 or 5 concussions already. So he's got to be careful with that. Tyler Shout, I'm not as sold as some people are on him, but I think he was better than what all we thought as well. So I think it was very interesting as well to see how Shout does going forward. Still kind of waiting. Cam Ward and Shador, incomplete in both. Cam, they were so bad around him. I guess you got to give him a pass. I'm still not sure what the deal is there. And Shador, I think, is going to be the odds-on favorite to start, I think, in Cleveland as well. I think Todd Monken, I'm kind of thinking Todd Monken, that's the direction he's going to go in week one there. These other teams, these are teams searching for QB that's undefined. So the situation is still up in the air. Steelers probably bring back Aaron Rodgers, I would think, but we still don't know. Tua probably out in Miami, so they're going to be searching for a quarterback. Could be Malik Willis. Colts, Daniel's kind of saying like the Steelers, Daniel Jones could come back for them. Had an injury last year. Possibly they could be looking at Malik Willis or Derek Carr. I think that's on the board. I think Derek Carr is on the board for somebody as well. Him coming out of retirement. Cardinals, I think they're in the worst spot. They're definitely not going to get one in the draft. Quarterbacks don't want to go there. Carr said already he doesn't want to go there because he doesn't want to win because he doesn't think they'll win. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I think they're probably in the toughest spot. Kyler Murray, the quarterback they do have that they're moving, I think could wind up in New York. New York does have 2 first-round picks. They could have their eye. I think they might have their eye on Ty Simpson as well in the draft. I think it's possible because they have that mid-round pick as well. Raiders, it's not official yet. We're all assuming it'll be Fernando Mendoza taking the spot as the next quarterback of the Raiders. There you go. There are your tiers. So definitely check that out. So they quarterbacks drive the engine. We'll see what quarterbacks actually do going forward next year as well. Interested to see what happens on that last group too. As well as quarterbacks. What do the Steelers do? What do the Colts do? What do the Dolphins do? Quarterbacks. That's a lot of teams. That's like 6, 7 teams looking for QB, undecided. So while they're doing that, I think the Raiders, they got the first pick. There's a quarterback there, so they're going to do that. But other than that, there's a lot of apprehension right now around quarterbacks there as well. All right. Terps. Let's get to that. They are holding their own tonight in the Nebraska country, the Cornhuskers. That is a real thing. Those of you who have never been to Nebraska, it is, that corn is real. When I was at when I was at Camp Ashland running, you're really running drills in corn. Corn is literally up there. That's a real thing. So that name's not baloney saying. That's for real. Like corn and Camp Ashland. And they also too right now have one of the best teams in the country, and the Terps are holding their own as well. Let's check the comments here in a second. Yes, that same thing. But Terps are holding their own as well right now. So definitely we're going to post about that. 48-45. Terps just got a basket there as well. So that would be a huge upset as well. Played against Northwestern earlier in the week. Terps, I'll say this. They're playing hard. So the record really isn't good as well. They're playing hard. They've at least, for whatever it's worth, closed the margin of victory in a lot of those games. 78-74 against Northwestern as well. Andre Mills, I think, is growing right before us. He had like 39 points the other night. So he's a scorer. I think the Terps in the offseason, the two guys you definitely want to keep in the transfer portal going forward is Andre Mills right now and Darius Adams. So if you can go ahead and bring them in with the freshmen that they're coming in, the strong freshman class, that would be awesome, getting them to go forward. Seeing how they're doing tonight as well. Look, no NIT, no possible NIT. Oh, I won't go that far. Possible NIT if they can make some surprises in the Big Ten tournament, but they would actually have to win the Big Ten tournament. Very hard to do that nowadays with the length, with the amount of teams of the Big Ten, how big the tournament is. So we'll see about that, how that goes. But the Terps, I would say this. The last 5 games, I'm way more encouraged than the first ones. They just didn't even look in games at all like they belonged on the court. at least now they're playing hard. They got the great mix of guys playing hard, and they're fighting in these games as well. We'll get to that in a second. Real quick, shout out to our man Ryan Ripken, who is this year joining Mass in Color Commentary as well. That surprised me to see Ryan there as well. Ryan obviously is the son of Baltimore Orioles shortstop Cal Ripken, nephew of Billy Ripken and the Ripken family, as well. Former Orioles minor league prospect. I think he's played with the Nationals organization. I actually see Ryan a lot as far as the YouTube and all that. So shout out to Ryan. I think I posted this and a lot of people was yelling nepotism. Look, there's no getting around that. Like your last name is Ripken, and if you're picking your career, you want to be a sportscaster, sports content creator, sports in Baltimore. That surely helps. But I'm even more impressed with what he's been able to do with the YouTube channel. We started pretty much, I think, at the same time. That's how I remember. I think it was 2022. He's built this channel. He's got over 25,000. Oh, I think it's like 20,000 people out there broadcasting every day, 3 to 5. Built a team. So very impressed with that. And I think he's definitely earned his opportunity here, despite whatever nepotism, whatever came with it. He's definitely, I think, earned this opportunity. So shout out to Ryan Ripken as well. I see him on 105.7 The Fan, also radio that now has a YouTube channel. So we do that. So definitely check that out. Speaking of 105.7 The Fan, I usually don't talk about Baltimore sports media, but I got to give this 2 minutes, right? Lock and Four is out at 105.7 The Fan, been there since 2020 as well. I was just waiting for somebody to defend Jason Okafor, right? Somebody in Baltimore. Come on, man. There was nobody. there was nothing as well. Nobody likes him. Nobody likes his commentary. I mean, even when I was talking to Josh in the interview that's on the channel about, hey, Baltimore, and he didn't soft pedal it. So this guy, I can't think of a guy more unpopular as well. This is very interesting in the sense with Okafor as well, that he first remember him as an information NFL guy on CBS. I didn't even know he lived in Baltimore. Very different presentation. Came off very different as well. And now angry doesn't do it justice like what I did see of him. So I've never seen a guy, like, even when the Ravens did well or the Orioles did well, it's just angry doesn't do it justice. But he's welcome to come on the podcast. And I'd love to talk to Jason Larkin and find out why he's so angry as well. But he will no longer be on the radio. I'm sure he'll get another gig in media as well. It is a rough time, in all seriousness, for people in media right now. A lot of them losing a job like that's going out there. A lot of cuts all over the board as well. All right. So let's go to this. So I think one of the greatest rivalries, one thing I talked about at the Rivalry Sports blog was one of the greatest rivalries in the NBA. I compared it to the Ravens Steelers rivalry in the writing. Not quite the same. Ravens Steelers fighting for the division, fighting for this, but two franchises that measure themselves against each other. This is a big rivalry because I think also too, they only really meet in the finals. That's the only reason it's a rivalry, because they met so many times in the finals. That's why it is. So we'll see. 119-89. That was the last result in Sunday's game. Real quick on that, Lakers. Lakers are a mediocre team. I've been saying that the last couple of years. The Lakers are my favorite team, but they're very mediocre. Doncic, I think, keeps them way out of the basement, out of the floor as well. They're going to build around him going forward. Interesting to see how that goes. LeBron, I think he should retire. He's not the same player. I think he's a good enough player. I do think he's going to go to Cleveland next year and get his retirement tour, finish where he started, finish in Cleveland. That's fine. There's not a lot of defense on this team. So I don't know why people like Austin Reeves as much as they do, but total non-factor. I've seen him too many times. He'll be good for a stretch, and then it's not a factor. That's not a really, really good player. Celtics doesn't surprise me. Joe Mazzulla is an outstanding coach as well. They have, I think, Jaylen Brown. You're finding out now how good Jaylen Brown is. He's uber underrated as well. Peyton Pritchard, 6th man of the year last year, started a lot. Outstanding shooter as well. They probably won't win the East, I don't think, but I think they're definitely competitive. The fact that they're competitive and basically horse race the Lakers out didn't surprise me as well. So that game was on Sunday. I watched that game. Um, I think it's the greatest rivalry in sports. I remember when I was a little kid, my dad was the biggest Boston Celtics guy there ever was. Right? We're going to talk about Bill Russell and some of the players, but Bill Russell, I think, was his guy. Certainly one of the athletes, one of the black athletes that stood up for other people in terms of racism and all those things. Guys like Jim Brown, guys like Muhammad Ali, guys like Bill Russell. I think that was the reason. When I was a kid in the 80s, though, it was Larry Bird and McHale and Parrish and Danny Ainge and these guys. So that was the thing. It was going on. Showtime Lakers was it. Before that, we've had great iterations of this long rivalry. I think one of the best rivalries, I think, in the history of the NBA, the Celtics and the Lakers. So let's go ahead and talk about this. 1962 NBA Finals. So this was Game 7 as well. This was the infancy of that rivalry here as well. So Elgin Baylor. So some of you who don't know who Elgin Baylor was, Elgin Baylor, I think, was the Laker of the Lakers of that era. So before there was Jerry West, you had Elgin Baylor. 110, 107 in Game 7 as well. The two great Lakers, the two guys going at it. Jerry West played in this game. Bill Russell, this was really in his prime. Sam Jones, the great Bob Cousy as well. So I think this was ranks up. I think this was one of the great Celtic Lakers series, and that's saying something there as well. Bill Russell, I think maybe the greatest defensive player in the history of the NBA. One of them. I think other than maybe Dennis Rodman. I think that's the only other name I have. Wilt Chamberlain, maybe as well. But Bill Russell, I think maybe the greatest winner of all time as well. 11 titles in 13 years. Christmas 2008 had to get at least one regular season game. Kobe Bryant and Jesus Shuttlesworth right there. Ray Allen as well. I think this was the one that kind of brought this back a little bit, right? So when you talk about the Celtics and the Lakers, you talk about those great playoff series that they're always having. But a lot of times when you play on Christmas Day and you're featured in a lot of these games as well, I think this is what you see here. And this was one of the classic games, I think, in the history of the NBA. So the Lakers win 92-83. In this one, Kobe had 27 points. KG, Pierce. This was the Big Three era for the Celtics. This was the resurrection in some ways of these two teams becoming once again the dominant rivalry we had here. So we had it in the 60s, we had it in the 80s, and we had it here around 2010. The Celtics and the Lakers as the top two teams in the league. 1984, I remember this like this was yesterday. Kevin McHale clotheslining, you see it. Kurt Rambis, one of the dirtiest players in his own right in himself. Lakers were just having their way in this Game 4. They were running up and down the court. Magic Johnson and the Showtime Lakers. And Larry Bird just said, look, I don't want to see any more layups. I don't want to see any more layups. You guys got to get physical and knock them down. Next series, Kevin McHale clotheslines Kurt Rambis, literally clotheslined him like that. Nowadays, there's no way he wouldn't have got kicked out of the series. Clotheslines him in the series, and the Celtics actually win the game and win the series. And I think a lot of people look at this as the turning point of the whole thing, the McHale clothesline in this one, because the Celtics they didn't have the Lakers' speed, obviously, and all that, but they they had the mental edge, the physical edge, and things like that. This was really the end, also too, of the Lakers as the Celtics rather as the dominant team of the early 80s. I think like the Celtics really had the early 80s as far as the dominance. 1969 NBA Finals as well. This is a famous picture as well. Jerry West walking off the course at yet another Celtic championship, the final of the 11 of the 13 years. As well, Jerry West considered the great Jerry West the logo, considered retirement after this game. This was the last game that Bill Russell played in as the player coach as well. Celtics get it again over the Lakers, May 5th, 1969 as well. But number one, the baby hook. Game 4 of the 87 finals. Lakers over the Celtics. Lakers win the series. And like I just told you, the early 80s belong to Boston. The late 80s belong to the Lakers as well. Magic started doing the skyhook. That was a surprise. Obviously, you think, and this was also to the transition of Kareem's team, that we used to call it, to Magic's team. Magic became the guy. Magic became the MVP of the league. Magic was the MVP of the series. It was Magic Johnson's NBA at this point as well. And I think this was one of the greatest games of all time. Back and forth, dip and tuck down to the end. The baby hook. There you go. All right. So I think this was one of the greatest rivalries, I think, in the history of the NBA. Talking a little bit of NBA here as well. So we had the game on Sunday as well. We'll talk some more games here as well. But I think just a tremendous rivalry that is when you talk about the Lakers and the Celtics. Top 10 lists. So we've been doing our lists here, and we got the 10 best in each position as we chug along. These are the last two in the field. So next week we're going to do right field. That'll be it. We have DH, starting pitcher, relief pitcher. Yeah, manager. Right. That's the week before the game. So we'll definitely check that out as well. And so, who are the 10 best center fielders as well? So this is no longer just a position of guys. This used to be like the guys, the defensive position, guys with the speed, the leadoff guys, and all that. You got a different variety of player now in center field all over the MLB. So definitely check it out here. Who is the top 10 list of center fielders as well? Number 10, Brandon Doyle of the Colorado Rockies. So, yes, see, there you go. There's one. Rockies aren't very good, but they do have a very good center fielder as well in Brandon Doyle. Definitely a guy. Yeah, offensive guys, you do have an issue sometimes with them in course. You just do, because it's just that way as well. Not super duper offensively last year as well, but did get 110 hits. I think he's outstanding in the field too. I think he's outstanding defensively. It's not that easy to play defense as well, but 15 home runs, 57 RBIs. I think he was good. I think he's definitely worthy of a spot, I think, in the top 10 here as well. Catalin Rafaela. So the Red Sox are making some changes now. So they've moved on from some guys in recent years, Bogarts, Devers, etc. Now you're moving into the next generation. They've had good minor league prospects. And here's a guy who's absolutely, I think, coming up as one of the best young players in all of baseball as well. Rafaela as well. So 249 last year for the Red Sox. I definitely think the sky's the limit for him. Very young, 5'10", 165, 20 stolen bases as well. 16 home runs, 63 RBIs. So I definitely think this is a guy that's going to get better as well. So definitely, too, the Sox are stabilizing the pitching. I definitely think this is a guy you can go ahead and build around in center field, along with Roman Anthony and Durant and those guys as well. So I think maybe you could argue one of the better outfields, if not the best outfield in baseball, Right now, the Red Sox as well. Trent Grisham of the Yankees. So Grisham, Yankees are kind of slept on. It's funny, like they kind of like have a lot of good players that are kind of going under the radar, like, which sounds almost weird for the Yankees to say. But Grisham had 34 home runs last year, so I mean that's not that's definitely something there as well. So not as many as Aaron Judge, but definitely a guy. So again, these two guys are not high average guys as well. Throws the ball very well in the outfielder as an outfielder as well. But definitely guys that definitely deserve it. I think number 8, Trent Grisham as well. Dalton Varsho as well. Again, uh, solid. I think as well. Varsho, Ben, he's had a much better career than what you think. He's played definitely a lot of his career uh, behind the plate early in his career, so he's definitely played a couple different positions here as well. The stats will pull up for Varsho. So 20 home runs, 55 RBIs last year. Did miss some time. I think that's always been kind of a thing with him. Got to stay healthy as well. But definitely, too, in that Blue Jays lineup is a lot to like there. So the Blue Jays definitely have a lineup. They're not going to have Santander here as well. You talk about guys like George Springer and Vladdy and all that. You definitely get a guy like this that's definitely going to help you in the outfield as well. Number 6, Michael Harris, another guy, again, kind of looking to rebound. I had him a little higher before, but the numbers have dropped a little bit. So I definitely can't put him as high as I once did. I still kind of believe, though, because I definitely still think the talent is there. Great speed in the outfielder. This is more the traditional center fielder, speed, etc. 16 steals, 20 home runs, 249 average as well. Like to see that average get back up though. He used to, like a couple years ago, he was hitting like 290, 264. So his averages kind of dipped a little bit. So it's kind of the case with a bunch of the Braves, but I definitely still have him there. I think defensively he's fantastic in center field. So Michael Harris, number 6. Brian Buxton, number 5. Honestly, I haven't been in love with Buxton his whole career, like a lot of people have with him. I think like because he's been on the shelf so much. Um, he's also to a lot of his career productive stat wise, but the average was oh so low a couple times. So, but last year I thought he was really putting it together. He did miss some games, but he was really putting it together as well. 264 average last year as well. 35 home runs, over 83 RBIs. I thought this was probably his finest season. So I do think he lived up to a lot of the potential that people had for him as well. I got Buxton number 5. Number 4, Andy Pages. I'm so tempted to honestly say Andy Pages, but that's not how you say it. Andy Pages for the Dodgers as well. He's going to be the starting center fielder for them. 27 home runs, 68 RBI. I think this is one of the many solid Dodgers out there as well. Terrific in the outfield. Terrific in the outfield. I think defensively as well. Now you got Hernandez, who's not so good, but Paez, I think, is fantastic in the outfield. And I think as an offensive player, I still think he can become even better than what he's developed into the last couple of years, and that's pretty good. 23 years old, definitely protected in that lineup as well. 27 homers. I think he even has stolen base potential. So I think the breakout is here for Paez as well. I think definitely he's a guy that could go get 30 home runs and 100 RBIs. No question about it. Jackson Merrill as well. So I think some people will thought the breakout would have been already or even more than what it's been. But he's been solid. I mean, I definitely would put him there. Had some injuries. I think that's kind of uh, slowed his development a little bit in terms of that. I would like to have seen like him to stay healthy for like a good 162. But what we've seen so far has been good when healthy. 264 last year, 16 home runs, 67 RBIs as well. Definitely, I think outstanding. I think in the outfield, still really young. He's still 22 years old. Look, you're gonna put a 22-year-old high draft pick third as well. But again, and the Padres now, again, used to think of them as a young team. Not anymore. Jackson Merrill, young superstar. Tati still under 30, but a lot of vets. So he's going to definitely going to get every opportunity as well. Pete Crow Armstrong. Man, where did this come from last year? I mean, you could argue. I mean, I think it not been for the brilliance, obviously, of Shohei Ohtani, that the MVP consideration for definitely, I mean, in the first half, this definitely should have been there for Pete Crow Armstrong. First of all, I think a lot of people feel that he's the best defensive center fielder in baseball. So I'm not even going to argue that. I think he's phenomenal on defense, and he hits a ton of home runs, 31 home runs, 95 RBIs. Yeah, you're in Wrigley as well, but this guy really, really stepped up last year to the plate. 23 years old. Definitely, the sky's the limit for this guy. I definitely think this is a guy. He's already hit over 30 home runs as well. I think this could be his time on the Cubs to be Mr. Cub going forward. And I said it, not replacing the great Ernie Banks, but that spot where you're the best player now with Kyle Tucker gone as well. So Pete Crow Armstrong was terrific last year, but I still have Julio Rodriguez ahead of him, number one for the Seattle Mariners. I think Julio Rodriguez finally last year we got some of this stuff we're talking about. Like we talked about Jackson Merrill potential, what could be Julio Rodriguez now isn't his. He's phenomenal. 32 home runs, 95 RBIs, outstanding defensively as well. Heading now into his fifth year, prime years for him, 25 years old. Number one, without a question. There you go. Top 10. Top 10 center fielders in all of Major League Baseball. So definitely check it out. Right field list is as well. Put it in the comments. Tell me what you thought. You right there with chips and soda. So definitely go ahead and do that as well. Make sure you like and subscribe and tell somebody, all of you that are watching right now, go ahead, share the video and go ahead and get your friends to watch as well. The second strength training report for the Orioles. All right. Second string training report, I think, is interesting now. They've kind of settled in. They've got some spring games under their belt. They're playing pretty much games every day. We're getting a chance to see the games because Masson is showing the games. So 20 spring training games. So let's definitely check it out here as well. Orioles continue grapefruit league action the second week of spring, playing competitive games as they built towards opening day. So, like I just said, basically they've been playing games every day as well. Twins today, Yankees, etc. Guys are playing now half the game. So you guys are still getting into shape. You're seeing a lot of young guys. You want to take a look at some of those guys. We're going to talk about some of those guys. But like I was watching lunch break today, some of the game, like they were coming out, like I think it was the fourth inning where you saw guys come out, Alonzo, Reshman, etc. They were kind of coming out then as well. Speaking of the polar bear, 2 homers the first week during the stretch. Any of the second home runs, giving the Orioles momentum at the plate. He's looked great. He's looked absolutely great here so far. I think definitely too. There was no doubt. Obviously, you worry a little bit because he is a new environment. But this guy's a stud. There's no grass. He definitely looks the part. He definitely looks like he's having a great time out there. No injuries. Outstanding at first as well. So good to see Alonzo automatically right in the groove already. So that is good to see. I don't know if we talked about this last week because it's been out there, but Jordan Westberg is a storyline. Funny, right after the stream last week, I was on Twitter and somebody was saying that Jordan Westbrook could be out for the season. I think it was the channel was Gary Williams. I forget the name. I'm sorry, I messed it up. But Gary, it was Twitter's page. Gary Williams has a YouTube channel. Anyway, But he was talking about that, and I looked around a little bit more, and it was verified, and we heard that. And then the next 2 days later, Michael Ash comes out and says that he's going to be out all of April. It looks like as well, so he's going to remain silent. So I don't know how that is. So it's possible he needs Tommy John surgery in his elbow, and so he may be out for a while. I think they're going to wait and see if they need to do it. I don't know. That might this might work, but definitely he's for sure. What they're saying is good. He's going to be out all of April, is as well. Kobe Mayo is getting a lot of those reps as well. So keep that in mind as well. No, again, no clear timetable for his injury. No clear timetable for him as well. Heston Kjerstad is showing progress. His first hitting the ball healthy, making a viable case for playing time in 2026 as well. It'll be interesting to see what Heston does. Heston's 27. I definitely think last year was a bit of a fluke for him because I think he wasn't healthy. So he was even bad in AAA. So when they send him down. So I don't think he's healthy. He's looked much better already this year in the spring. The problem is I don't know if this is a spot for him. I don't think this is a spot. I mean, this team is, you got a lot of outfielders. Dylan Beavers, Tyler O'Neill, Colton Cowser, etc. Yeah, Ike Irish coming. I don't know. I'm not convinced that there's going to be a spot for him in Custer. However, it is good to see that he has been good here so far as well. First spring training game, Trevor Rogers was on the mound for the Grapefruit League opener. He pitched again today as well. The opener was on Friday last week. I think that's a clue. It could be that he's going to get the opening day start. They haven't announced it yet. I would think probably another week or so before you actually hear that. I'd think Trevor Rogers deserves that to actually start the opening day. Most valuable Oriole voted by the media last year. Good stuff for Trevor Rogers. I think definitely, hopefully, that could be a clue what they think. Vance Honeycutt is first string training homer today as well. 2024 first round pick for the Orioles. Vance Honeycutt really struggled at AAA offensively last year. So that's a thing. So he's out there and he has looked good so far. For sure, he's going to be in Frederick or I would think Chesapeake. I want to say Bowie. No longer Aberdeen, no longer Bowie, we call it. So I think definitely that I would think they're probably putting him in Chesapeake. Possibility you could see him in Frederick as well, which is now, and again, to finish the thought, then the eighth affiliate, no longer Aberdeen Ironbirds of that as well. And Orioles over today, 7-5. What was the score today? 4-3 over the Tampa Bay Rays today as well. Definitely two looks so good so far. 3-2 for spring record, whatever that means as far as that goes. Definitely two. I have noticed Taylor Ward did start off in leadoff spot today. Adley has been healthy out there as well, getting most of the time behind the plate. So interesting to see how that goes the rest of the spring. All right, guys. Thank you very much for joining us here on the Rivalry Sports Podcast. Like and subscribe to all of our social media content here as well. And definitely, if you're watching this right now, definitely to go ahead to our YouTube channel and hit the subscribe button. Go to our X page and go ahead and hit the follow as well. Share it with everyone. Thank you very much. Have a great rest of your week.